Hello, my fourth graders. This is lesson 7.2, generate equivalent fractions by multiplying. And today's target is to use multiplication to find equivalent fraction. And I want you to be able to multiply a numerator and a denominator by a chosen number. And I want you to be able to multiply to find equivalent fractions. And I want you to be able to explain why multiplication can be used to find equivalent fractions. Let's dive into our examples. Shade a second model in each pair to show an equivalent fraction. Then write the fraction. Alright, so we have only half of the side is shaded. So I'm going to shade the same and same size. And how many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. That's what denominator is, right? And then how many pieces are shaded? 1 and 2. Okay, so 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. Same area. You see that? Same size. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, I'm going to shade only half of this paper or shape. And you see now, this is split it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal shape, right? And equal areas, and that's what denominator is here. And then how many pieces are shaded out of this 6? 1, 2, 3. So this is equivalent also. And again, one side out of 2 is equal to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, right? And 4 pieces out of 8 pieces equal to 1/2. And maybe you've noticed that half of 4 is what? 2. Half of 6 is 3. And half of 8 is 4. That's what half is. Make sense? So they are all equivalent fractions. Now describe the relationship between each pair of numerators and each pair of denominators. All right, so now I want you to write down this one. Before write down, you need to understand that, numerator and denominator in each fraction is multiplied by the same number. You see that? 1 times 2, right? And any number multiplied by the denominator or numerator, you have to do the same thing to denominator or numerator. You see, equal numbers, right? Multiply 4 is gonna be like this. So I'm gonna write it again in here. Multiplied by the same number. Okay. Now, structure. How can you use multiplication to write equivalent fractions? Explain. Then use your method to find another fraction that is equivalent to 1/2. Okay. So how can you use multiplication? So when you multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, the value will be the same, right? So multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number, you'll be able to find the equivalent fraction. So they were asking, use your method to find another fraction that is equivalent to 1/2. We already used times 2, times 3, times 4. Now I want to do times 5. So 1/2 is equivalent to 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. And realize that, right, what? Yes. So half of 10 is what? 5. That's what it is, okay? So let's move on. Now think and grow. You can find an equivalent fraction by multiplying the numerator and the denominator by the same number. That's what we've done, right? So 1 times 3, whatever you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator. And also, whatever you do to the numerator, you have to do to denominator. Okay? That's what equivalent fraction is. All right, now example. Find an equivalent fraction for 3/5. Okay. So multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. 3 times 2, it's easy. 5 times 2 is what? 10. Okay, so 6 over 10 or 6/10 is equivalent to 3/5. Okay, you see that here. So 3 pieces are shaded out of 5. That's what 3 over 5 is, right? And then when you split that into half more, that means what? You have 2 more pieces than numerator and denominator. So total pieces are gonna be 10, and shaded pieces what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You understand that? This is equivalent fraction, and this is very fun and easy to do it. So 3 over 5 is 3 parts when each part is 1/5. Okay, this is the same as 6 parts when each part is 1/10. All right, so let's move on to our example. Find an equivalent fraction for 7 over 4. Okay, multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, which is what? 7 times 3 is 21, and 4 times 3 is 12. Okay, so you see this in here. Okay, that's equivalent fraction. So 21 over 12 is equivalent to 7 over 4. You can read as 7/4 or 7 over 4. You know that, right? And this fraction is going to be what? 21 over 12th. Okay? Or 21 12th or 21 over 12. Okay? Either way. Which one do you prefer? Go for it. Okay, now show and grow. I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 together. Okay? And then rest of them will be yours. You know that, right? And then you can finish your one question and then check your answer with me. Okay? And then do the other questions as well. All right. So now, number 1, 5 over 6. Okay, so find the equivalent fraction. The easiest way is what? Just divide that into 2 times more. Okay? So we are going to have what? 12 total pieces. And we are going to talk about what? 10 out of 12. That's equivalent to 5 over 6. Okay? Now I'm going to do the same thing. If you want to choose another number, go for it. Okay? So multiply 3, multiply by 4, whatever you want to do it. Or even 10, right? So 8 times 2 is what? 16. And 5 times 2 is 10. So 16 over 10. All right, number 3, find the equivalent fraction. Okay, same. So you gotta find out 2 times what makes 4. Makes 8. And then whatever you do to denominator, you have to do to denominator. So 2 times, yes, 4 is 8, right? That means we have to do what? Times 4 to numerator. So it's gonna be 4 over 8. All right, what about 2 over 3? Yes, 3 times what makes 6? Whatever you do to the denominator, you have to do to numerator. Okay? So 3 times, yes, we know 2 is 6. That means what? 2 times 2. You have to do the same thing to the numerator, which means 4. Okay? If you don't understand, please see this model. This is easy to see. And for me, I always use pizza. Okay? All right, maybe we can do during I can show you during the class hour when we review all together. Okay? All right, find the equivalent fraction again. Okay, 4 times what? It's gonna for 8. What's gonna be 8? Yes, 2. That means you have to do anything you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator. Okay? Did I say numerator or denominator? For the 4, denominator. Okay? Numerator. All right, so that's what? 6. Okay, and it's getting faster. 1 times what makes 4? 4. That means what? You have to do the same thing to the denominator, which means 12. Okay, all right, now without modeling, okay, 9 times what is gonna make 18? Yes, 2. Anything you do to numerator, you have to do to denominator. Okay, easier? Okay, getting easier, right? Now number 9. Find an equivalent fraction. Oh, this is easy. For this time, I'm gonna use only 2, multiply 2, which is easier, okay? I'm gonna go for 14 over 12, and this is gonna be 20 over 20. This is gonna be 4 over 8. And find 2 equivalent fractions. Okay, so let me use times 2 and 10. That's easy, right? So times 2 is what? 10 over 10 is equal to what? 100 over 100. Okay, times 2 is going to be 8 over 6 is equal to 40 over 30. It is equal to 2 over 20 and 10 over 100. All right, any number you can use, okay? All right, now number 15, writing. Explain how 1/4 and 2/8 are equivalent using multiplication. Use models to support your answers. Okay, your answer. Okay. Now we know because 1 times something has to make 2, right? That means what? 2. And then anything you do to numerator, you have to do to denominator. That means what? 4 times 2 is 8. So 2 over 8 and 1 over 4, they are all equivalent fractions. Okay? That's how you can explain. And I'm going to write it down what we did. Multiply the numerator and denominator of denominator by 2. Okay, that's what they did. And then example, I'm gonna use pizza. Okay, we have 1 slices out of 4, and then same size. Okay, same size of pizza, we are going to split that into 8 pieces, and you are taking same area, which is half. Two, not half, quarter size. Okay, and that's what we have. Total 8 slices, but you are taking out of what? Yeah, 2 out of 8. And this is what? 1 over 4. 1 out of 4 slices. Okay? They are equivalent fractions. And they are equal size. Write true or false for the statement. If false, explain why. Okay, let's find out. 2 times what is going to make 12? Yes, 6. And see if 4 times 6 is 24. Yes, correct. So that means it's what? True. What about this? 3 over 5. Okay, let's see. 3 times what's gonna make 6? Yes, we know 2. And 5 times 2, anything you do to numerator, you have to do to denominator. Oh, 5 times 2 is not 100. It must be 10. So this is false. And if false, they ask us to explain why. So let's explain. It can be denominator, right? If you want to go for denominator, you have to say that since 5 times 20 is 100, you have to multiply 3 times 20, right? For the numerator. Or if you want to go for the numerator, you can say, since 3 times 2 is 6, you have to multiply 5 by 2 to have 10. So this is false, okay? So simply you can say you need to multiply by the same number for denominator and numerator. So I'm gonna write that down, okay? You must multiply by the same number for numerator and denominator. Okay. All right. You don't have any question up to here, right? Okay, now let's move on to our last page. This lesson is gonna be easy and simple, right? A recipe calls for 3/4 cup of oats. You only have a 1/8 cup measuring cup. What fraction of a cup of oats in eighths do you need? Use multiplication to write an equivalent fraction for 3/4 in eighths. Okay. So 4 times what is going to make 8? Yes, 2. That means anything you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator. So that means what? 6 cups. Okay. You can write it down 6/8. So you need what? Yes, 6/8 cups of oats. Okay. Now, number 18, you need 1/2 cup of water for a science experiment. You only have a 1/4 cup measuring cup. Now, what fraction of a cup of water in fourths do you need? Okay, so let's figure it out. Times something is going to make 4. That means what? Yes, 2. That means you have to do to numerator same. That means what? 2/4 cups. Okay? Okay, so that's it. Very simple. And number 19. A pedestrian needs to walk 4/5 mile to meet her goal. It's not even 1 mile, right? But before 1 mile. The path is marked at every 10th of a mile. Okay, that means what? If this is a 1 mile, they split that into what? 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now look at that. So every 10th, and then if that is the same, maybe it's not easy to look this way, but I want you to look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 4/5. That's this in here, because when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, and that's 1 mile. And this in here, there to 1 mile, it's split it into what? 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's what equivalent to 8/10. But you can do this way always. You can use multiplication. So 4/5 is what? If that is split it into 10th of a mile, times what's gonna make 10? Let's figure it out. 5 times 2 is gonna make 10. That means what? Anything you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator, which is 8/10. Okay, mile is the answer. Okay, so if you want to use modeling, go for it, but this is easier, way easier, right? Because I know even for me, sometimes it's hard to like split equally the distance, right? So sometimes it's not easy. But if you prefer to see visually, you can go for modeling, okay? Number 20, dig deeper. You put together 7/10 of a puzzle. The puzzle has how many pieces? Okay, 100 pieces. So that how many pieces are there in total? So 100, okay? And then what fraction of the puzzle in hundreds is not, is not put together? So you completed 7/10, which means 7/10. You need to transfer this into equivalent fraction of 100 pieces, okay? We know 10 times something is going to make 10, which is what? 10. Anything you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator. That means what? 70. You completed 70 pieces out of 100 pieces. That means not put together. So how many pieces are not put together? Yes, 30/100. Easy, right? But don't get confused, and you have to understand, comprehend what is the problem. Okay? So of the puzzle. Okay. How to explain? Yes, we can use number sentence, which is hold on. What I'm doing? Okay, 100 over 100 when you finish this run, right? And then you have completed 70 out of 100. That means what? 30 pieces are left behind. Okay. All right. Number 21. You have 3 over 5 of a dollar in coins. Okay. Now, what fraction of a dollar in hundreds do you have? Write one possible combination of coins that you have. Okay. So you have coins. Okay. And 3/5 of a dollar. How many coins can make up to $1? I always told you, remember, 100 cents are equal to what? $1. Okay, so let's convert this 3 over 5 of a dollar into hundreds. Okay, so 3 over 5 is equal to something we don't know yet, over 100. Okay, so 5 times what's gonna make 100? We know that's gonna be 20. Okay, so anything you do to denominator, you have to do to numerator. So that's gonna be 60. So 60 cents, okay, is equal to what? 3/5 of a dollar. Okay, so now so I can say 60 cents, and that's maybe we can say, because they want us to write one possible combination of coins that you have. So I'm gonna say 2 quarters, since I know 1 quarter is equivalent to 25 cents, right? And 2 quarters are what? 50 cents. And 2 nickels can be, or what? 1 dime is what? 10 cents. It can be different, okay? So you can say 6 dimes, or even 12 nickels, okay? Anything you want. All right. That's it. Yay. So your homework will be 315 and 316. Okay? Sorry for my voice. I'm not feeling well, but yep, it is what it is. Okay, guys, I will see you in school. Bye.